All right. Hey, everyone.
Hi. Happy 2019.
Woo!
That's the first time I've said it. I think that it's 2019.
There we go. 2019. How'd that happen?
Thank you for joining us on this lovely, actually, it was raining, but now it's not anymore.
It's probably going to rain again. It's been so rainy here.
We're in Berkeley, California right now, where it's been raining. You can drop in the chat to say hi. You can say where you're from. We love hearing where people are coming from. And thank you for joining us. We're excited I'm excited to kind of jump back into writing because I was traveling over break and and just off my routine, and now I feel like a little bad, but ready to start writing again.
I didn't write anything. I wrote the day after November ended. I have not written anything.
You're like, this is going great.
And then I was like, oh, well, I can take a little break. And then I was like, I'll write when I'm home visiting my parents.
Oh my
that
God.
didn't happen. And then I was like, I'll write when I get back to work.
I am going to do it. I actually wrote on an airplane, which I never am able to do. I always just say, I'm going to write. I'll do all my work on the airplane. And then I'm like, or I'll just watch Fixer Upper on whatever, HGTV.
I cannot work on airplanes. Just does not work for me.
Whew. Okay. So people are chiming in. Hello from Russia. Oh, but they currently live in Minnesota. Also cool.
Someone from Serbia.
We've got someone from Washington.
Glasgow.
Someone in Maine who spent the day noveling.
Nice.
Because it's snowing.
Colorado.
Whoa. California. Woo. That's where we are. Someone said they're from Indiana. That's where I just was. That's where I grew up. I'm from Michigan City, Indiana, which is right kind of on the border near Chicago and Michigan. So
nice.
Where are you from? Indiana? England. Whew.
Georgia, state, not the country.
We have people from all over. That is so exciting.
Yeah.
So hopefully we're going to spend the next 45 minutes to an hour taking a break from our normal day, whatever that is, and making this space to be creative, whether that's working on the novel you started, working on something else, dreaming up something new, journaling, just time to be creative. That's what this is for.
Yeah.
Should we jump into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So speaking of New Year's and wanting to start writing again, we thought we could spend the first 5 minutes writing a New Year's writing resolution. And what I meant by that is what kind of writing goals do you have? Do you want to write every morning? Do you want to write a certain number of pages or a certain number of hours? Or is your goal just I want to write more? It can be whatever you want. And then another question, why is writing important to you? Why is this something you want to spend time on and, take energy for?
Yeah.
And if you want to read that, instead of listening to me say it, it's written in the description below our video.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, I guess we skipped over some things.
Oh, what do we skip over?
In the new year. I forget how to do it.
Okay. First,
we didn't say our names.
Oh, right.
We didn't say what official writing is. We didn't say anything. We're just hey, I'm tired. That's right.
This is it. We're getting back into the flow. This is how it goes sometimes. You try to get back into the flow, and it doesn't really work the first time. So you just keep going, and eventually it works out. I'm Catherine, if you don't know me.
I'm Mariah. We're just backing up a little.
Yeah.
I'm from NaNoWriMo. You probably know that. If you want to watch more videos, we're going to be doing more write-ins throughout the year and doing other videos. You can subscribe by clicking on the little Viking logo. Then you could subscribe to our channel so you always know when we're doing one of these.
Yeah.
Cool. Is that
great?
Is that right?
Okay. I think that's it. If we forget anything, you can just tell us in the chat. But yeah, let's start off with this first sprint here. Just kind of get writing, talking about our writing resolutions. Again, the prompt is in the description if you want to.
And some people are dropping into the chat I want to finish my novel, I want to do this, and that's great. We're going to spend 5 minutes, maybe write a little bit more about why you want to do that or how you're going to do it. You're going to write every day, or you're going to write every morning from 2 to, that's really early, from 6 to 7 or something like that. Or just spend 5 minutes free writing, whatever you want.
Yeah. You don't have to use the prompt if it doesn't work for you. Yeah. But all right.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Ready,
5 minutes starts now. About a minute and a half left. All right, time's up. So put down your pencils or your fingers or whatever, and if you want to let us know what some of your writing resolutions are, drop it in the chat. Let us know. How'd that go for you, Mariah?
That was okay.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have to write anything. I just had to write to myself. I was like, seriously. I used the word seriously a lot with exclamation points. Seriously, you can do this.
Nice. You kind of wrote yourself a little pep talk.
I did I wrote myself kind of like, not a mean pep talk, but it was definitely like, come on.
You were being the like hard coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I want to do is, I was in a good habit where I was writing for an hour every morning, and I want to get back into the habit. So I'm going to do an hour in the morning every day, except I gave myself permission to take one day off a week.
Nice.
If I needed to.
Nice.
But then I said, if I don't write for an hour in the morning, then I need to make up that time later in the day. Seriously, you can do this.
Nice.
What is your writing resolution?
Yeah, I put down that like my baseline writing goal for the year is to finish the novel that I started in November, because I got about halfway through.
So possible right now.
It sounds so possible right now. My like stretch goal is to get an edit done on it, but we'll see how long it takes me to finish the first draft first. And I was kind of similar to you. I don't know. I thought about trying to write every day, and I was like, I did that for a month, and that was really daunting. So I set a goal of like writing 5 days a week. So kind of like an office job. It's like I can give myself the weekends off or whenever, if I want to. That's my goal. We'll see how it goes.
One way that is like that writing every day, not in November, is different is that you don't have this like beating heart of like word count pressure on you.
Right.
And like when I do it in the morning, I just say I have to be at my computer present doing nothing else for an hour. So if that means like I like kind of read through something or like poke around at something, or I don't always do, like I actually haven't worked on my novel since November. I've been working on short stories.
Okay.
So just like, it is a little less stressful when you're not like, oh my God, I have to reach 1,667 words.
I don't know, but I'm one of those people that like usually does better like under pressure, like
really?
like, you know, procrastinating until the day before the deadline. So that actually helps me sometimes. But
people are dropping into the chat some writing resolutions. I'd love to share some. Let's see. Miss Maddie Reed says, my resolutions are to write at least 1,000 words per day, and I put the deadlines I'd like to have my projects done by. That's great. I think that's really helpful, setting your own deadlines.
Definitely. Nature Artist says, mine are mainly to develop consistent times to write. Not a word count goal exactly, but a specific time frame, like 2 hours in the morning, afternoon, each day of the weekend. Just kind of like yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zara Wright says, I want to be able to publish my 5th book, as I've not published since 2015, and I've been feeling quite down about my writing lately. So to be able to publish something new would be amazing.
Awesome.
I set one of my goals to send something, like send a short story to a magazine once a month. So like with the expectation that it won't be accepted, but like once a month I will send something into the universe somewhere.
Cool.
Because I think publishing goals are also really helpful.
Yeah.
So we'll see. One a month seems possible. It can be the same one every month. I just have to like submit it.
So Shannon McLaughlin says, my goal is to write and indie publish 12 books this year. That's amazing.
Cheers.
I cannot even fathom writing 12 books in a year.
Yeah, that would be. I'm trying to write 1 book a year. Oh, that's perfect. So Esther says this year I plan to write every day for 20 minutes at the start, then gradually go up to an hour, and start editing 2017 NaNoWriMo novel. That's a great specific goal. It's like when you run a marathon. In theory, I've never run a marathon, but I think you start small first. You're like, every day I'm going to run, I don't know, a couple miles until eventually you're running longer. Ooh, Bibliogeek. I would love to workshop my writing with other people. That's another great way to get stuff out into the universe. Just share.
It's actually one of my other goals that I wrote about was trying to find either like a reliable and knowledgeable beta reader or like some kind of writing, like in-person writing group. To like, I don't know, again, it's kind of that outside pressure a little bit of like, oh, if I know that people are going to be reading my writing, like I'm more likely to do it. But
that's so real, though. Yeah. Like the best, I feel like the biggest thing that I did to become more serious about writing was when I took an in-person writing class, and then all of a sudden was getting specific feedback. Like instead of me just writing by myself in my room, it was a real thing. But NaNoWriMo is also good with that. If you share, like if you find a group on the forums or something like that, I think that counts too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I found, I like this one by Kate Kavanaugh. It says, for 2019, my daily resolution is to write for fun first and focus on other work, editing, freelance, whatever later. Which, I don't know. I like that. Writing for fun, being a good resolution.
Writing is fun too. Like I think sometimes we forget it. Like it can feel like work, but really I think I wrote that too because one of the things I was writing was why I want to write. I was like, because I really like it and I've always really liked it. And it's such a nice thing. Like I feel different after writing than I do after doing something for work. You know, you really get to use part of your brain that feels really good afterwards.
I feel about it the same way I do about like going to work out. Like before you do it, you're just like, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. And then while you're doing it and afterwards you're like, oh, okay, actually this is great. I remember why I like doing this.
Okay.
Great.
Whew.
So
shall we do another one?
Yes. Let's. We're so good at this.
I know, we're trying to remember how to do this too. We're like, wait, what time is it? Also, I just got back from Indiana yesterday. It's night, so I'm like in a different time. And but we thought for our second writing prompt, we could try to get kind of the creative gears churning. Do gears churn? They turning in our brains.
Yes.
By doing a writing warm-up. And so we have a prompt for you, which is this. It's from Debbi in the NaNoWriMo forums. To write something that starts with the sentence, I have a confession to make. I never really ... And this could just be you writing about yourself. It could be like a diary entry. It could be you writing as a character in your novel. Or it could just be like a brand new story that you spend 10 minutes writing.
Like a little flash.
Yeah.
A little flash fiction.
A little flash story fiction.
Just to get your brains working again. If you're, I don't know, I know I saw some people in the chat who were like, hello, I haven't worked in my novel in months. It's like, I am there with you. I need to get back in that mindset.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Someone said Blobby launched my hand. Blobby got to visit. I'm the Young Writers Program Director, and so I took Blobby with me on classroom visits around the Bay Area, and I told the students that he was good writing luck. And I said, he's good luck if you, what did I say? I said, you could rub his tummy. I said, you could give him a little high five, which is funny because he's got really tiny hands. Or I said, if you were really stuck, he would bite your hand for good luck. I don't know why, but they liked that one. So
maybe it works though.
It feels funny. Okay. So we're going to spend 10 minutes.
Yep.
You can write whatever you want, or you can write something that starts with the following sentence. I have a confession to make. I never really ... And I think I'm going to do that and write something totally random for the next 10 minutes just to have no pressure involved.
Cool. All right, you ready?
And if you copy paste it, you already have 9 words.
Good cheat.
Okay.
All right, let's go. Let's start. 10 minutes. Starts now. Got about 2 minutes left. All right, time's up. If you want, you can drop a sentence that you wrote into the chat or let us know how you use the prompt. Yeah, love to hear from you. That was actually super helpful for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so thanks for suggesting that one.
Yeah, what did you write?
So I actually started working, I finished the first half of my novel in November, and I've just been, I think part of the reason I haven't continued with it is I've just been really worried to start part 2 because I liked part 1 a lot, and I was like, oh, I don't want to ruin this. And I couldn't figure out how to start part 2, so I started it with, I have a confession to make. I've never really learned how to ride a bike. And it's just a bunch of girls sitting around and talking about things they've never done before. So that was a good low-key way for me to get back into it.
That's cool.
How about you?
I started it. Mm-hmm. This happens to me a lot where I'm like, I can't write. And then as soon as I start writing anything, it could just be gibberish, even just hello. Mm-hmm. Once my fingers start moving, then all of a sudden I can start. So I wrote one sentence of the prompt. I wrote, I have a confession to make. I never really learned to drive a car. It's not like I can't drive a car. I can. You've seen me. It's just that I never learned. And then I was like, this isn't going anywhere. So I went back to the short story that I'm working on. And then I started working on that. It's cool. I jumped over the hump.
Nice.
People were dropping some things in the chat. Let's see. Oh, someone used it to kind of as a meta device, a way to think about their novel. Bibliogeek says, a bit of inner rambling about my thought processes for editing. I never really anticipated how much my novel needed changing.
Nice.
That totally counts. I sometimes find that just writing to myself about things is a way to get to get thinking.
Oh my gosh, I love this. I never really wanted to join the purple penguins and their preposterous pineapple picking pranks. I am running away to join the gorgeous grizzlies of Georgia at dawn. We ride, and your world will be ash. That took a turn I did not expect.
Snazzy Sam the Spam used the prompt to write a confession letter of sorts from the villain of their new novel.
That's cool.
That's really cool. Blue Dolphin said, I'll drop a sentence, but it has a lot of math. Haha. How much math? That seems like a challenge. Drop that math. I'd love to read it.
Oh my gosh. I have not taken I've not taken a math class since high school, and I feel okay with that.
Ooh, I love the sentence. Thea says, I never really wanted to go to space. It was the other worlds I liked the idea of, not space itself. The vacuum just doesn't appeal to me. The emptiness, the cold, the radiation. Love that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Nice.
Very cool. Did people write something that wasn't the prompt?
Yeah.
Just work on anything. Sometimes, again, this is just virtual writing. It's just time to be creative. So I definitely spend some time just kind of rereading too, which is I think is okay because we don't have that word deadline.
Same. Although it's good for me to be in a virtual writing because sometimes I do that a lot where I reread too much.
Oh yeah.
I like go back and reread everything and like I need to catch myself up. And then I like finish reading and like, oh, but I've been here half an hour. Like I need to go do something else now.
Yeah,
so it's kind of good for me in a virtual writing to be like, I only have 10 minutes. I can only reread like this one paragraph.
Totally.
And like it doesn't, just reminding myself like it doesn't matter if it makes total sense of the transition between these two parts. But.
I have a rule that I can't change it.
Like interesting.
I'm working on my novel and I know the beginning's terrible and I know I'm gonna have to change so much, but I just have this rule. I'm like, you have to finish before you get to go back and change, which is really hard. Ugh.
Yeah, so sometimes I handwrite my first drafts and then I have to go back and like type them all up. And I was realizing the last time I was doing this that as I was typing it up, I would like read a sentence that I hand wrote and I'd be like, oh man, it would sound better if I typed it like this. And then I would type it and then I would keep reading and be like, wait, no, I just said that in the next thing. So I'm like, oh, my brain does work in very similar ways no matter what time I'm coming at this material.
That's funny. One piece of advice that I think is really good, if anybody out there is starting to revise your novel, maybe you know this already, but to make sure you look at it in a different form than how you wrote it.
Yeah.
So you either print it out and look at it printed, or you, if you were handwriting it, you type it, or if you were just a way to look at it in a different way. I do this a lot with my computer, where when I'm writing fiction, I switch the screen, I'll invert it so that I only do this when I'm writing fiction as a way to kind of trick my brain, like, okay, when the background's black and the font's yellow, that's when you're here to write fiction. So just little tricks like that I think are helpful.
Do you switch it back when you go to read and edit, or do you keep it with the black and yellow?
I keep it black and yellow.
Okay.
It freaks me out now when I look at a story with the white background. Like it really freaks me out. Okay. Oh, someone mentioned like a different pen color. Yeah, like that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we do another writing, or what do we have?
Know.
Do we have a question?
So I'm just curious. Like, so this is kind of the first time that we've really done a lot of virtual write-ins outside of event like months where we're doing NaNoWriMo events. So it's a little bit new to us too, not just because it's a new year, but also we're just trying new things. And I don't know, we want to know like what kind of stuff you guys want to see and hear, like any questions that you want answered in the next couple of months. So yeah, feel free to let us know if there's like a specific topic that you want us to cover, or if you're at a particular place sort of in your writing process. Yeah, just where are you guys at right now? Like what kind of resources do you want? We have, so typically in January and February, it's our kind of I wrote a novel, now what months. So it's kind of everything that comes after writing the first draft. So we have a couple of cool things that are coming up. In a few weeks, we have some webcasts where with some of our sponsors. I don't have all the details with me right now, but we'll be putting those on the live stream event. So if you subscribe to our channel, you'll get a notification when those are happening. But it'll be talking, we'll be in conversation with professional editors and publishers and agents, so they can kind of directly answer your questions in the field that they have a lot of expertise in. That'll be coming up. We have some tweet chats coming up if you're on Twitter. Yeah, we got lots of good stuff. But yeah, we're curious what more you would like to see, or any writing questions you have. So
yeah, it's hard because we can't. Some people might be editing, but I'm not ready to edit, for instance, and you're not ready to edit. You're maybe still working on your novel. Exactly. I'm actually working on short stories. So just trying to figure out what we can do that would be helpful to to everybody.
Cool.
So far, it seems like most people have questions how they can order Blobby online, which is important. He is a dinosaur.
Yeah, it's from Squishables.
Yeah,
is the website.
I might order one.
You should.
Like you don't I took them to classes. Even like middle school classes where kids are like 13 and trying to be edgy or whatever, and they're just like. Everyone is hugging him.
Everyone loves Blobby.
He really is kind of a therapeutic creature. So we're like a commercial. We don't get any money from them or anything. Like it's not like
we should though.
We really should. It's really good advertising. He's just really sweet. So I see people are dropping in. Somebody just likes or dropping ideas into the chat. Some people just like having time to write together, time to chat with other writers. It can be kind of lonely to write. So knowing that it's fun to hang out. I like them for that reason too, just seeing like, what you all are up to. And,
Same.
It's like, yeah, it is really nice.
It does look like a few people are kind of at the editing stage right now and want more information about turning a first draft into a more polished draft.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it looks like someone is taking their manuscript to a workshop in April. So any tips for changing the first draft to a solid second draft by then?
That's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. We'll try to think up some good ones.
There is a video. Oh no, we made a Now What video that's up now. Yeah. But we can also definitely dig into our resources. We have a bunch of resources to try to figure out some easy tips for revising. Not easy, but
we have a bunch of stuff on our blog, so we'll probably be kind of taking some of those really, really helpful posts and putting them to video form. So keep an eye out for those.
Cool. Wow.
Somebody said Blobby's design is retired.
Oh my God, he's extinct. He's extinct. I mean, quite. You're not extinct, but you're endangered. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Well, Blobby.
That was a foolish move on their part because he's amazing.
Yeah. Trish McFall says some webinars about self-publishing or submitting manuscripts would be great. We're definitely going to have some of those. I think we're going to Ingram Spark is a self-publisher and they're one of our partners. I'm pretty sure we're going to do a webcast with them. I haven't confirmed that yet, but we will also be doing a tweet chat with 2 agents from New Leaf Literary in February, and I think we'll also be partnering with the Book Doctors again this year for Pitchapalooza, which is where you can submit a pitch for your story and they'll choose 30 at random and critique them, professional editors critiquing these book pitches. And it's also a contest, so the winning pitch gets kind of a deal with an editor or an agent. So that's pretty cool. That's coming up in February. Still solidifying the details on a lot of those things. But yeah, we got some cool stuff coming up. Cool. One of the things we get asked most is like, if we meet people who are like, oh, you work for NaNoWriMo? Like, what do you do the other 11 months of the year? It's like, no, we do a lot of stuff. So glad you guys are joining us for that.
Okay. Right. Should we do another one?
Yeah.
We know how to do virtual, right?
We know how to do virtual.
Totally remember how to do this.
We're professionals. Okay, yeah, let's do one last prompt here. So this one, I was trying to think of a prompt that would work for people who are either still writing or have moved on to the editing stage. And I was taking some inspiration from the book Catch-22. I don't know if any of you have ever read it, but it's pretty funny. There's this one section where there's kind of some of the soldiers who are invalided out have to read all the letters that people are sending home to make sure there's no like secret information in it and to black out anything that they can't send off base. And this one guy gets bored. So I'll just read a passage from that book. So to break the monotony, he invented games. Death to all modifiers, he declared one day. And out of every letter that passed through his hands went every adverb and adjective. The next day, he made war on articles. He reached a much higher plane of creativity the following day when he blacked out everything in the letters but A, an, and the. That erected more dynamic intralinear tensions, he felt, and in just about every case left a message far more universal. So I just love that passage because it's this like totally silly war that this guy is waging on just random parts of speech. But it's kind of a good thing to keep in mind if you're editing. One of the biggest pieces of advice that we get a lot for going through edits is to make sure that you don't have too many adverbs, useless adverbs especially. So, if you're saying that she stomped out of the room angrily, you don't need angrily, because using the verb stomped already, tells the reader that somebody's angry. So things like that. So my prompt is sort of, if you're editing, pick a part of speech to sort of wage a war on. Like I said, adverbs are usually a good place to start. Those are usually the ones that you don't need. But if you're writing, you can write about a character who is fighting some sort of very, very trivial battle. Maybe it's some person like fighting the weeds that are growing out of the lawn or something. Something kind of silly like that. Something fun.
One piece of advice that I heard it's a writing prompt actually, it's for short stories. It's to give your character something in the beginning, like something small that they're trying to do. The example they used was trying to get something stuck in your teeth. So it's a bigger story about other things, but throughout the whole story, there's just this thing stuck in their teeth that you're like, you have to keep reading because you're like, how are they gonna get that thing out? So just really small things.
Yeah.
Can really make that conflict.
Yeah. So some kind of conflict against something very, very tiny.
Or if you're like me, I might just keep writing that story I started last prompt because I was into it.
Yeah. Obviously, you don't have to use the prompt if it doesn't work for you. But all right, let's do it. 10 minutes? Yeah, let's do 10 minutes. Okay. Ready? Go. Oh, now it's raining again. about 1 minute left. All right, time is up. You can finish your last thought if you want. And yeah, let us know either what you wrote about, if you want to share your word count. Yeah, share it in the chat. Yeah. How'd that go for you?
Not great. How did it go for you?
It went okay. I kind of just started rambling on about something totally different. But, you know, it worked. I was writing. That counts.
I think I'm too tired to really write well. I'm doing the thing where, like, I'm starting to write, and then my brain's like, yeah.
Yeah. That's all right. It happens.
Sometimes the afternoon is a hard time for me. Or also just I feel a little jet lagged, I think.
Yeah, that's totally reasonable.
How did it go for you all? You can drop in the chat. You could share a sentence. You could share if you thought about something else that you would like to talk about or do at these virtual write-ins. That'd be great too.
I like the snazzy Sam the Spam wrote about 370 words of this villain letter they've been talking about. It sounds pretty cool.
A Bookish Obsession wrote 186 words, but started a little late.
Oh, Sarah N. reached over 80,000 words. Holy cow. I'm assuming that's on your total work in progress. If you wrote 80,000 words in an hour, I would be amazed.
That'd be amazing. Leanne Felton said they came up with a couple ways to build their main character's agency because their plot was carrying her along too much, which is also a great use of this time.
That's great, yeah.
Yeah. That's also pretty good editing technique. So if someone is out there thinking, like, what's not working with my story, you can check to make sure, like, your main character is making choices and has this motivation that's built in.
Yeah, and I saw somebody earlier was asking about the differences between editing and revision. So maybe we can kind of tackle that next time or in a future video.
Let me see. Oh, I got a little behind. Laurel shared a sentence. Inside the tavern, a steady, joyous hubbub of noise bubbled like the carbonation of the drinks they enjoyed together. The sheer number of adjectives in this sentence astounds me.
Ooh, I can see the ribbons of cosmic sigh swirling around us, the colors of the cosmos flashing in seemingly uncontrolled chaos, but following the rules of entropy. It's from Sarah N.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, I like this. Spooky Moose used the prompt. Wrote 239 words. A woman cleans a filthy kitchen, and then an ajar cabinet door and a too large cereal box leads to a cascade of nitpicking and fruitless organizing that undoes all of her work. That's like my life when I clean things.
Are you mostly working on novels out there, or are you working on other things? Because people keep saying, like, editing and revision or submitting things, and I'm assuming you're meaning novels, but it could be something else. Like, you could be working on short fiction or something. So if you have a second, just drop into the chat maybe the project that you guys are working on.
I also saw somebody was asking about Camp NaNoWriMo, which happens every April and July. And that's usually a good time to work on projects that aren't novels and kind of try something new.
I like it as I think this is pretty common. People who are writing novels and you get stuck and you kind of take a break and write a short story. And it makes it kind of fun because it feels like you're cheating, but the way you're cheating is by writing something else. So you're never actually not writing. You just like whatever. Instead of just sitting and doing nothing, I get to do this other thing that it's really fun or really different. That's cool. It's cool. Someone was working on poetry. Someone was working on short stories, graphic novels, movie scripts.
Nice.
Somebody, I think, took the inspiration of having somebody with like going on a trivial battle. So Trish says, whatever was stuck in Annie's eye made it even more difficult to focus on Eleanor and her mother out in the dark yard.
Nice.
And I'm sure there's something else going on there, but I also, in that sentence, immediately become invested in thinking, like, is she going to get that thing out of her eye, and what is it?
Right. That's really cool. I also saw that somebody asked about our new website. So if you guys don't know, we've been working for about the past year and a half to kind of come up with a revamped NaNoWriMo website, because the last time we updated the NaNoWriMo website was a long time ago. So we've been working on that. Our goal right now is to sort of launch version 1 at the end of this month. So we will definitely keep you updated on that, but look out for that. That's something really exciting that's going to happen, and should also help sort of make year-round writing with NaNoWriMo easier and more fun. And so, yeah, we're excited about that. That's coming, and we'll keep you updated on that. So.
And thank you for sharing what you're working on. It seems like people are working on a whole bunch of different things, which means that we can never really say, like, here's one thing that will help everyone.
Exactly.
But it is great because it means that everybody's using this time to just, like, be creative in different ways, which is how I'm kind of doing. Like, I was working on a short story then. You're working on your novel.
Yeah.
People are doing poetry. It's cool.
So.
Cool.
Awesome. Yay. Thanks for joining us. This is fun. This is good. This is good for me to get back into things. I hope it was useful for you as well.
Yeah. Kind of like an easy, just... slide back into writing.
Hang out, do a little bit of writing.
If you haven't yet, you could subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's there on the screen. If you click the little blue Viking logo, then you can catch videos like this. And we're going to try to do them at least once every other week.
Yeah,
I think
we'll have something. We'll have some kind of video, something going on weekly.
Yeah,
throughout the next couple of months, whether that's virtual write-ins or webcasts or short little edited videos, there'll be stuff happening. So
cool. Is there any? Let's think. Is there anything we potentially forgot? No, this is good. I think we did it. Yes. Remember those writing resolutions that you wrote? Try to stick to them. We can check in next time. I said I was going to try to write an hour every morning. I said 1 day a week I'll take a break. You were going to do 5 days.
Yeah, 5 days a week.
Okay.
I'll try to write.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.